Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. If you saw my video on Rough Ryder's Mushroom Hunter's Knife 2, and then you know I had mentioned that I would like to get a second one of these and turn it into a basic Hawkbill. And that's what I did. I went and bought another one. And what I did is I basically compared the two knives because one of them I am going to convert. I will probably buy a third one after I convert one. What I basically did is I looked at both knives and I was deciding on which one looks the best. And I determined that this one is slightly better because this one has a stiffer brush. Only ever so slightly stiffer too. But this one had a few hairs that were out of place. So I'm going to remove first the hairs on the knife. This is, and I do believe now, the more I have felt this, that this is actual boar's hair. It is not, this is not synthetic. It is actual boar's hair. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the hairs first, and then the next thing I'm going to do is remove the Witcher snap hook here. So let's see how I'm going to do that. My first thought is I'm going to just try and take a pair of pliers and pull out the hairs. We'll see if that works. Well, I started before the camera was rolling, but indeed, you can just pull out the hairs using a pair of pliers, which is better than cutting it. And what you have at the back here then, well, I got one loose hair hanging in there. Sometimes it's better just to use your fingers, I guess. So what you end up with is what you got right there. Notice that you have the holes where the hairs went, and I think I could put those back in simply by unscrewing the handle and then putting these hairs back in place. So I am going to actually save these so that if the hairs on my other mushroom knife get damaged, I can use these by just unscrewing the handle and I can repair the brush. So that's pretty cool. And now the next step is going to be removing the snap hook, and I do not want to damage that. So first I have to open up the ring here, the little key ring. These things are a pain in that. The split rings are a pain to open. I am going to do that off camera. All right, so I got the Witcher snap hook off, and now I'm finishing it up with the split ring. And this looks like it was a copper split ring, which is pretty cool. Now that that is off, next step is to take a Dremel tool and just get a grinding stone and grind the snot out of that and get rid of it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape all around the edges so I do not damage the anodized aluminum, and we'll see how that goes. But you can already see it's starting to look more and more like just your basic Hawkbill. I always say Dremel tool, but what I actually have is a Craftsman variable speed rotary tool, and I lost the little wrench that loosens it up, so I end up using one of my Rough Ryder knives that has the little crescent wrench on the back. This is this is a really cool electrician knife. So you got the electrician blade here with the screwdriver tip, and then you have the Spearmaster blade, or if you want to call it a drop point, you can call it a drop point. What I was always told is if the blade is relatively straight going out, and then at the very end the two points kind of are even on both sides and they meet in the middle, it's called a spear point. I've been told more recently that it has to be sharp on both sides, but I could have sworn that this is the blade that for the longest time Victorinox called a spear point, so I still call it a spear point. In any case, the crescent wrench on the end here has saved me more times than I care to admit, and it fits this nicely, and then, you know, put it in there and loosen it up. Come Come on. Oh yeah. Gotta push the button down and loosen it up. Had an engraving tip in here. Gotta get it switched out. Okay, I have my grinding stone. Not a big one, doesn't need to be. And then I have taped off the area, and we'll see how long this takes to grind this down and if I'm going to need a second stone. I'm thinking I probably should use a larger stone. Maybe I will. We'll see how it goes, but you're not going to see it because I'm not going to be grinding, looking through the camera or anything. It's just not safe for me. We'll be back. So this is where we began with the Mushroom Hunter's Knife 2 with the mushroom brush here, the cleaning brush, and the Witcher's snap hook here. And well, we already know about the pocket clip on the back side. And what I wanted to do is turn it into a Hawkbill without the snap hook and without the brush. And it was very easy to remove the brush. I could pull the individual pieces of brush out with a pair of pliers. That went really easily. And then I started grinding off the keyhole in the back here, or in the front here. And I got it down as far as I can go with the stone that I have right now. I basically need to get a flat stone so I can do a better job with it. If you can actually remove these handles, I would suggest doing that, because even though I did put tape all around it, I still nicked it a couple times. I knew I was going to. But you can see basically where we're going with this now. Okay, I went back onto the workbench with this a little bit and ground this down a little bit more with a softer stone, and smoothed it out, and it no longer has the annoying bump in front there. If you notice, it is still slightly elevated, and I've realized that I actually need to leave it that way. It needs to have that little bit of a bump there, and that's so that it will match up with the blade. Obviously, I should probably polish this and make it look a little smoother and everything. But now it matches into the blade very nicely. You can definitely feel the transition from the handle to the blade, but it does it smoothly. And you can definitely get a finger out on that blade now and get a good grip there. You do not have anything up there. There's no forward choil, which is fine. I'm not interested in a forward choil because you got plenty of handle back here to use. So much nicer. If you're looking at turning it into a Hawkbill, I think all total, I spent probably about 30 minutes working on this to get it to the point where it's at right now. Yeah, you will need a Dremel tool. You'll need a couple grinding stones with it, or if you've got a grinder, I would suggest a small grinder because you're dealing with a small part. If you want to take the knife apart, you could do that as well, and that might make it a little easier to work with on the back spring there. But I mean, if you're more careful than I am, you probably won't screw up the anodized aluminum covers anyway. But anyway, there's the final result as far as I'm concerned at this point. I might end up polishing this a little bit, but beyond that, it's done and it's nice. I like it. But anyway, as easy as it is for a person to take the Mushroom Hunter's Knife 2 and turn it into a Hawkbill, I think this would be a really cool thing for a Rough Rider to just go ahead and do to begin with. And if they were to do that, a few things that I would suggest them doing right away is, market it as a sailor's rope knife. One of the reasons I would say that is because of the thumb hole here, which I showed in the last video, where you can use that to break a shackle or tighten a shackle up. So, you know, the fact that the thumb hole will work perfectly as a small shackle breaker or shackle key. Is a cool thing. And so I would promote that part. Could you imagine this being called the Sailor's Hawk, or maybe the Osprey or something like that? Then you have the pocket clip. I would keep that. I would definitely keep it as removable. If you note, it is flush there. So if you do keep the pocket clip, make it reversible, so you can put it on either side here. I don't know if you want to make it tip down carry. I guess you could do that too. That would be a little more complicated. But what I would like to see is if you do make it reversible or able to go on either side, rather, is I guess the correct way. So left, right hand carry, tip up. Provide those blanking plates so that you can fill in the gaps on either side, because that would be nice too. And give two blank plates so that you could actually remove the pocket clip if you wanted to. Obviously, fill in the holes in the back here. I don't have a problem with it being a slip joint version, but I wouldn't mind also seeing a flipper version of this. If you were to do that, then you could put in a liner lock. But I would also like to see like a mid back lock on that, pop it with a mid back lock. And if you did that also, you might have it able to, you could have a lighter spring on it to make it even easier to open. Do you need to put a nail nick up front? Maybe, but for me, you can easily grip that, so I don't think it's an issue. But yeah, I definitely would like to see this issued. And I think, the Sailor's Hawk or the Osprey or something like that would be a pretty cool name for it. And I would definitely like to see that again. I think Rough Ryder could do a pretty good job with this, and I think it would be something that a lot of people would be interested in having, is a Hawkbill version of the, just a straight Hawkbill version of this knife. Now I've got to go and buy another second of this, and I guess I'll just keep one of these and just hope that Rough Ryder comes out with the genuine article. I'd love to see this as a Hawkbill. Tell me what you think about it, and also, more importantly, if you think that Rough Ryder should have this as just a rope knife or a Hawkbill knife, why don't you contact SMKW and also Rough Ryder and let them know about it. Tell them, hey, Tobias was talking about turning the Mushroom Hunters 2 knife into a Hawkbill for a sailor's knife. How about doing that? I'd be interested in buying one like that, something like that, and see what happens. In any case, with that said, stick around for some slides, and I'll talk to you again soon. let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.